Welcome, everybody. My name is Michael Chalowitz Holovich. I am the host of the cryptocurrency YouTube channel named Kubera. Today is a very special day. Elon Musk beat Jeff Bezos as the world's richest man. Pretty crazy news. It is the end of the first week of January of this month. My birthday is upcoming. I'm going to be turning 23 years old. And today is also a very special day because it means the very end of the first week of the year. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully everyone's doing well. And let's discuss about something interesting. Cryptocurrency. Bitcoin has hit over $40,000 today. In terms of its total market capitalization for all cryptocurrencies, we have hit not only over $1 trillion, which is a peak in of itself, but a peak of $1.1 trillion, and now we're heading for $1.2 trillion. So now we're just waiting for Bitcoin itself to hit $1 trillion. We're approaching there. Bitcoin's dominance did drop a little bit below 70% to 68%, but that's okay. Ethereum is picking up the pace. It hit over $1,200. So now it is time for Ethereum to hit past its all-time high of $1,450. SPY has been doing pretty good over the past year, but not as good as Bitcoin. Bitcoin has doubled over the past month, and over the past year has done a 300% gain, while SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, has done just a little over 100%, which still is good, considering, the lockdown, the pandemic, everything. Oh! But today's video is a special one, so let's get back inside because it's pretty cold, and we're going to discuss what would happen if 10 years ago you invested $1,000 into Nikola. Just kidding, Nikola went bankrupt. Tesla, thanks to Elon Musk, he's one of the world's richest guys right now. But would you be pretty rich? Well, let's find that out. A few of the FANG stocks, such as Netflix or Amazon, and then, of course, our fan favorite cryptocurrency. So this is a hyped up video. Let's get into it. Without having a crystal ball, sometimes it's very difficult to look back and understand how many people probably could have gotten away with investing $1,000 into some of these stocks. Now, whether that is 5, 10, 50 years ago, there's always been opportunities besides cryptocurrency, before cryptocurrency even existed, for an individual to take $1,000. And if they kept investing $100, $200 per month, of course, back then, a few decades ago, with inflation, definitely your purchasing power was a lot better and you'd be able to get more stock. And if stocks split up, you'd be able to get more. However, we're just going to be looking at the past decade, since Bitcoin's just a little bit older than that, 12 years old. And at the very inception of Bitcoin, you had to mine Bitcoin. Technically, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, you would have been able to purchase BTC. It's just, it would have been very difficult, especially in larger sums. But that is going to be our gem at the end. And first, we're going to look at stuff that actually outperformed Bitcoin, which is very, very rare, but it happens. However, this gets into high risk territory where Bitcoin is definitely on the lower end of the risk territory when it comes to long-term growth. In the short-term scale, it outperformed the S&P 500, outperformed gold, it outperformed most of the traditional forms of investments out there, especially since last year with the lockdowns, with the pandemic. A lot of traditional stocks fell down, and sure, they did recover. However, cryptocurrency not only recovered, but it thrived in this environment. It waited for such an environment. It was a perfect mix, with the bear market since 2018 being a very long, cold crypto winter. People were ready and hungry for the next opportunity for it to grow. But there were other companies such as Elon Musk's Tesla, which 2020 was an incredible year for. Currently, it's priced at $816. And even if you just bought last year or bought 2 years ago, Tesla would have outperformed BTC. There is something that did outperform Tesla, though, which is still incredible, considering with Bitcoin, you would have gotten 300% gains for last year. With Tesla, it would have been up more than 680%. But this one, you really probably wouldn't know about, since it was very tightly connected with the vaccine. Moderna is a healthcare stock which beat Tesla, which beat cryptocurrencies, and it went up an incredible 765%. So if you invested only $1,000, and this isn't even looking back 10 years ago, but if you invested at the very beginning, January 2nd last year, you would have purchased it at $19.57. So you would have had approximately 51 shares. Now, with the stock lately trading at $170, your investment would be worth close to $8,670, netting you a solid profit of $7,670. So that is incredible, but probably you wouldn't be investing in Moderna maybe later on. And of course, the Moderna CEO turned a hefty profit, as did other pharmaceutical and healthcare company executives, CEOs, founders. They gained quite a bit. There was actually a Harvard professor who became a billionaire, Timothy Springer. He is a biology professor, and he got into a biotech firm. Can you guess what firm? Can you guess what firm has made him into a billionaire? It was Moderna. None other than Moderna. He's a 3.5% equity stake in Moderna, and Forbes estimated that he already was a billionaire. When was this article? This was in the 5th month of 2020. So if he held on, that means he would have a few $billion right now. Absolutely something incredible. Alongside this Harvard professor getting rich off Moderna and investing into the stock, you had the Moderna CEO, Stefan Bancel. He also became a billionaire. But this is a 1 in 1,000, a 1 in a million chance, because there's a lot of people who probably wouldn't have been able to understand what events would take place at the very beginning of 2020. However, those who have been involved in cryptocurrencies and those who have been involved in fintech, those who have been involved in technology for quite a while, have been looking at certain stocks, such as even in the very early days of Apple and Microsoft and Google, and you had a quite clear understanding that they're dominating the internet, and then Facebook took over and Facebook beat out pretty much almost everyone. Lately, they've been going through a little bit of a rough patch, so we're going to see where they're going through 5 years from now. And rough patch in terms of their reputation, the scandals in Congress, the censorship. But let's just look at stocks first. What would have netted you the most profit over the best 10 years? And then we'll take a look at cryptocurrency, how it compares to that. A lot of people got rich off of Tesla, but how many rode it all the way up? Probably not many. Many probably got rid of it at 200%, 300%, 400%. So very similar to what Bitcoin would have gotten you. There's a lot of people who sold Tesla after, for example, Joe Rogan's podcast, which is the infamous one where Elon Musk had a little bit of the green plant, or the time that he tweeted and he got the SEC involved, or the time he made fun of the SEC right afterwards, and the time he said his stock is way overpriced. So that was a different incident compared to the time where the SEC got involved because he wanted to discuss his companies going private and public, which obviously stirred a little bit. And people were predicting that the stock price is going to go up. Eventually it did go up, and people who sold lost out on a hefty profit. So the clear winner over the past 10 years is one of the FANG stocks. Before we get into it, in 2017, one of the best companies was Starbucks. And then we had McDonald's and Nike and Alphabet, which Alphabet owns Google, so it is definitely in there. We had Walt Disney, but they're not in the top 3 best. Number 3 is Apple, number 2 is Amazon, and the number 1 winner is definitely towards the end of FANG. It's the end. It's Netflix. In 2017, if you invested $1,000 in Apple, you would have received $6,228 10 years before 2017. So 1,000 times 600%, basically. Amazon times 1,200%, you would have gotten 12,398. Starbucks 4,687. McDonald's 2,793. Walt Disney 2,824. Alphabet, Google 2,922. Nike 3,300. Then you had Mylan, Microsoft, FedEx, Walmart, GE, HP, Coca-Cola, Pfizer. With Coca-Cola, you would have only gotten 1,489. With Netflix at the very end, $51,966. Netflix in January of 2011 was around $27 per stock share. Currently, it's $509, so you're able to do the math of how much money you would have there. It is a lot of profit, but still, Bitcoin beat Netflix. Overall, it beat Netflix because if you invested BTC just a little over 10 years ago, so we're going to go a few months over 10 years ago, where it was difficult to get this amount of BTC, but hypothetically you invested $1,000 as of November 19th, 2020, so a few months back, while we were still at Bitcoin being $17,920.70. All of the Bitcoin that you would have bought, which would be around 12,500 BTC, would be worth exactly $224,000. Just kidding. It's $224 million, 8,750. Now, comparing to today's price of hitting $40,000, and possibly it could go even to 50 or above, at $40,000, that's more than double. So if we do the math, it would amount to, let's say, 2.32 times 224, and our math is absolutely incredible, around $520 million, over $500 million from a $1,000 investment. Now, of course, in order to get there, you would have to go through many bull runs, and probably would have sold at least a portion of that. But still, if you held on to even 10% of that during the main important years, the last few years, well, oh man, you would have gotten away with millions of dollars, which still outperforms everything. In the long run, it doesn't matter how Netflix performed, it doesn't matter how Tesla performed, because Bitcoin has beat everything else in the long run, and this is when we have to look forward into the next 10 years. So that's why if you're investing right now, don't look to cash out next year or the next 5 years. Look 10, 20 years from now. Treat this like an ETF, like the S&P 500 for the past 30, 40 years. Most of the stories where people got out with millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars through Bitcoin, usually they were purchasing more than $10,000. So once you start putting $10,000, whether it's in stocks now or in cryptocurrencies, you are going to get some returns as long as you pick well and you go out into the long term, 10, 20, 30 years. But first of all, you're going to have to make sure you're able to invest. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. We're going to be discussing about that in a future video. Thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. If you enjoyed that and you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like and a comment. Share this on Reddit. Share this on a blog or forums, wherever you are. Every single share, every single like, every single piece of engagement helps this channel grow. And I wish you all a happy rest of your day. See you tomorrow. So far, the first week of this channel, we have uploaded every single day without a miss. And for the past week, notice on Kubera, every single day we've been uploading daily content. So, woo, congratulations to myself. And I appreciate you guys joining me in on this crazy journey. So far, the new year is going in good, especially for cryptocurrency. So, see you guys tomorrow.